Have you ever wondered why some women effortlessly capture a man's heart while others go unnoticed, no matter how beautiful or kind they are? What if I told you the difference isn't looks, charm, or even love, but psychology? Yes, dark psychology. In this video, I'm going to reveal what most people will never teach you. 7 hidden psychological triggers that bypass logic and speak directly to the emotional brain of any man. These are not games. They're not tricks to play with someone's heart. These are the exact tools used by elite influencers, master seducers, and even interrogators to create emotional attachment, obsession, and loyalty. But here's the twist. You're not going to chase love. You're going to attract it on command by understanding how the male mind really works. Because men don't fall in love through logic. They fall through emotional patterns, triggers they can't even explain. And once you know how to press those buttons, you're not just the girl he likes. You become the one he can't stop thinking about. So if you're tired of being ghosted, breadcrumbed, or taken for granted, this might be the video that changes how you think forever. Stick with me, because what you're about to hear has been kept in the shadows for a reason. Used ethically, this knowledge can create deep, real connections, but misused, well, let's just say you'll never look at dating the same way again. Let's get into it. There's a reason why some women become unforgettable, even addictive, while others are quickly forgotten. And it starts with this one tactic: push-pull. It's one of the oldest psychological triggers in the book, and it works because it confuses the emotional brain in a way that makes a man want more, even if he doesn't know why. Here's how it works. You give him attention. You flirt, you lean in. You let him feel the warmth of your interest. That's the push. But just when he starts to relax, you take it away. You pull back. You become a little distant, a little harder to reach. That subtle shift makes his brain panic. He starts replaying your words, wondering what changed, why you're acting different, what he did wrong. And before he knows it, you're in his head. That emotional tension is where the attachment forms, not when you're sweet and predictable, not when you're overly available, but when he's riding the wave of your energy, highs and lows, warmth and distance, never quite knowing what comes next. That's what hooks him. That's what makes him chase. Push-pull isn't about being fake. It's not about being hot and cold for the sake of drama. It's about understanding that humans don't value what comes easy. When you give too much too soon, he relaxes. He feels like he's won. And when he feels like he's already won you, the game is over. But when you pull away just enough, just when he starts to lean in, you trigger his competitive instinct. He starts needing your attention like a reward. That's the exact same mechanism casinos use with slot machines: intermittent reinforcement. The reward comes sometimes, not always, and that unpredictability makes it addictive. Let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation. It's about emotional pacing. You're not playing with his feelings. You're letting him feel the intensity of yours in waves. It keeps the emotional air charged, mysterious, alive. So when he compliments you, don't melt. Smile, but don't give him everything. When he texts you late at night, don't reply right away. Let him wait. Let him wonder. When you see him, give him warmth, but pull back just when it feels safe. Make him reach for more. When done right, push-pull creates emotional tension he can't escape. He'll try to solve you, decode you, hold on to you, and that's when he starts to fall hard. Because the truth is, men don't fall in love with comfort. They fall in love with the mystery that makes them feel alive. And you just became that mystery. If you want a man to obsess over you, not just like you have to stop giving him easy access. One of the most powerful dark psychology triggers is understanding how to balance scarcity and availability. It's not about ignoring him. It's about controlling the currency of your attention. The truth is, men are hardwired to value what they have to earn. The more available you are, the more he subconsciously starts to take you for granted. The less effort it takes to be with you, the less emotional weight he places on your presence. This is where most women go wrong. You like him, so you want to be around. You reply instantly. You're always free. You cancel your plans when he calls. You say yes too fast. And he might like that at first, but very quickly, he'll stop chasing you because he no longer feels the need to. So here's the switch. Stop being predictable. Scarcity is seductive. When a man doesn't know exactly when he'll hear from you again, when he can't read your patterns, or assume you're just sitting by your phone, that's when the curiosity starts. And with curiosity comes emotional investment. Don't answer every call. Don't be the first to text. Don't make yourself available just because he finally shows interest. When he gives you attention, mirror it. Don't overgive. When he asks to see you, pause before responding. Your energy should feel earned, not expected. Because here's the psychological trigger. What feels rare feels valuable. And when your attention becomes a reward, he'll start working for it. He'll start wondering how to keep you. He'll start chasing. You're not punishing him. You're training his mind to crave your energy. Every time he gets a little taste of you, your voice, your presence, your softness, and then you pull back just enough, his brain starts to link you with desire, anticipation, and even emotional tension. And that's what makes a man fall deeply. Not comfort, not consistency, but emotional contrast. So be warm, be feminine, be magnetic, but don't be easy. Don't be always there. A woman who is everywhere becomes invisible. A woman who is just out of reach becomes unforgettable. Let him feel the void when you're gone. Let him question why your energy suddenly feels scarce. Let him start trying harder, because now he's afraid to lose you. Scarcity makes you powerful, and once you master it, he'll chase you like his happiness depends on it. If you want a man to not just like you, but to feel deeply connected to you, then you need to understand how emotional anchoring works. This isn't about tricking him. It's about understanding how the male mind builds emotional bonds and using that to form a connection he doesn't want to live without. Emotional anchoring is when you consistently connect yourself to a specific feeling or emotional state he experiences when he's with you. Over time, his brain links you with that feeling. So when he wants to feel that way again, he comes back to you. Men aren't always great at understanding their emotions, but they are very responsive to how a woman makes them feel. That's your advantage. Because if you consistently show up in his life during moments of confidence, calm, excitement, or emotional intimacy, he'll begin to subconsciously associate you with those feelings. You become his emotional safe space, his confidence boost, or his source of joy, without you needing to say it. For example, when he's relaxed or opening up, be present. Let him feel your undivided attention. Reflect his thoughts back to him in a way that makes him feel understood. This is powerful for men, because most don't experience that often. You don't have to fix him, just witness him. That alone creates emotional imprinting. Here's a subtle move. Use a soft, unique phrase during those moments. Something like, "I like this side of you." When he hears that during an emotionally open state, it registers. Later, when he feels vulnerable or wants to feel that emotional release again, he'll think of you, even if he doesn't know why. This is how emotional memory forms. And if you're consistent, you become the emotional anchor in his life, the woman he associates with comfort, chemistry, passion, safety, even desire. And yes, anchoring can work with distance too. After a powerful emotional moment, you give space. That absence allows the emotional high to sink in. He remembers how good it felt, and now he misses it. He misses you. This isn't manipulation. This is relationship psychology. It's what allows emotional attraction to grow deeper than surface-level chemistry. You're not just the woman who texts back quickly or says the right things. You're the woman who makes him feel seen, safe, and strong, and that's rare. When a man links those feelings to you, he won't just want you, he'll feel like he needs you in his life. Because at the end of the day, people don't stay for logic. They stay for how someone makes them feel. And if you become the woman who triggers the right feelings in him, he'll keep coming back again and again. If you really want a man to fall for you, to become obsessed with you, then mastering strategic silence is non-negotiable. This isn't about playing childish games or being cold for no reason. It's about using silence as a powerful tool to make him crave your presence and chase your attention like never before. Here's the truth. Most women make the mistake of flooding men with communication, texts, calls, messages, thinking it shows interest. But what it often does is dilute your value. When a man feels like he can reach you anytime, your energy becomes background noise. You stop being special. Instead, you become predictable and easy to take for granted. Strategic silence flips that script. When you pull back on communication, intentionally, calmly, confidently, you create a psychological void. And human nature hates voids. Our brains scramble to fill empty spaces with questions, curiosity, and anticipation. When he doesn't hear from you, his mind will automatically start to wonder, what's she doing? Why isn't she responding? Did I say something wrong? That uncertainty lights a fire inside him. It triggers the fear of loss, which is one of the most powerful emotions tied to attraction. It makes him chase your attention because not having it feels like a loss. But remember, silence must be strategic. It's not about ghosting or ignoring him out of anger or insecurity. It's about being in control of your energy and choosing when to engage. You're the prize. You decide when and how you give your time and attention. Here's how to practice strategic silence effectively. When he texts or calls, don't rush to reply. Give yourself space to respond when you genuinely want to, not because you feel obligated. The longer you wait within reason, the more he feels your absence and starts missing your energy. Use silence after emotionally charged conversations or moments of intimacy. After deep connection, pull back a little. Let him sit with those feelings, the excitement, the passion, the mystery. That space makes those emotions sink deeper, and you become the emotional anchor he craves. At the same time, don't overdo it. Too much silence can push him away or make him lose interest. The goal is to create a balance, enough absence to make your presence valuable, but not so much that he feels abandoned. Silence is also powerful because it forces him to face his true feelings. Without your constant availability, he can't distract himself. He has to decide if he wants to pursue you or walk away. And when a man realizes you're not desperate for his attention, that you have your own life and boundaries, his respect and attraction will skyrocket. Strategic silence is the ultimate test of his interest and commitment. It weeds out casual players and reveals the men who are willing to fight for you. In a way, silence speaks louder than words. It communicates confidence, self-worth, and emotional strength, qualities every man finds irresistibly attractive. So the next time you feel the urge to respond immediately, pause, breathe, choose silence. Watch how your absence makes his desire grow. Because in love and attraction, sometimes saying nothing says everything. If you want to make a man obsessed with you, you have to master one of the most powerful psychological triggers, the curiosity gap. This is the secret sauce that keeps him thinking about you long after you've gone, wondering what you're really like beneath the surface and craving more. The curiosity gap is simply the space between what he knows and what he wants to know. When you give him just enough information to intrigue him, but never the whole picture, you create a magnetic pull that keeps him hooked. His brain wants to close that gap. It wants to solve the mystery. And because he can't, he stays emotionally engaged, always wondering, always chasing. Think about your favorite TV show or book series, the ones you binge because you have to know what happens next. The writers don't reveal everything at once. They drip feed information, dropping hints, teasing surprises, leaving cliffhangers. That suspense keeps you glued. You can do the same in your interactions with him. Instead of laying all your cards on the table, be selective with what you reveal. Share just enough about your life, your feelings, your thoughts to keep him interested, but hold back the rest. Be a little mysterious. Keep him guessing. For example, when he asks about your plans or your past, answer in a way that invites questions rather than shutting them down. Oh, I have a few things going on that keep me busy, but maybe I'll tell you sometime. Or when he texts, leave some topics open-ended. This subtle withholding is not about lying or playing games. It's about creating emotional tension. Curiosity works because it activates his brain's reward system. Every time he uncovers a little more about you, he gets a dopamine hit, a rush of pleasure that makes him want more. But if you give everything away too soon, that reward system shuts down. The mystery disappears, and so does his intense interest. Another way to use the curiosity gap is through your energy and body language. Sometimes a look, a smile, or a pause before you answer can speak volumes, hinting at something deeper without revealing it. These nonverbal clues plant questions in his mind that he wants to solve. But be careful, the key is balance. Too much mystery can frustrate him, making him feel shut out or confused. Too little, and he loses interest. Your goal is to keep him curious enough to stay engaged, but never frustrated enough to give up. This technique also works in person. Share stories that are intriguing but incomplete. Be playful and tease without revealing everything. When you do this consistently, you become someone he can't figure out easily, someone worth chasing. In the world of attraction, the unknown is always more exciting than the known. When you master the curiosity gap, you're not just creating attraction, you're creating obsession. Because the truth is, men don't just want a woman, they want a mystery to unravel. And when that mystery is you, he'll never stop coming back. If you want a man to fall hard and fast, one of the most effective psychological tools you can use is mirroring desire. This might sound simple, but when done right, it creates a powerful unconscious connection that makes him feel like you're his perfect match, like you think and feel exactly how he does. Mirroring is the subtle art of reflecting his energy, emotions, body language, and communication style. When a man sees himself in you, he feels understood, validated, and deeply connected. It triggers a primal sense of trust and comfort, which are key foundations for attraction and love. But mirroring desire goes deeper than just copying his behavior. It's about matching his emotional intensity and showing him you want him just as much as he wants you. This creates an emotional feedback loop where desire keeps growing stronger on both sides. Here's how you can do it. Start by tuning into his energy level. Is he relaxed and casual, or is he intense and passionate? Match that vibe. If he's playful, be playful back. If he's serious, drop the jokes and engage on a deeper level. When your energy is in sync, he feels like you're on the same wavelength, and that builds attraction without you having to say a word. Next, pay attention to his body language. Does he lean in when talking? Does he touch his face or neck? Mirror those subtle gestures. If he crosses his legs, you do too. Mirroring these physical cues creates a sense of harmony and makes him feel comfortable and drawn to you. But the most powerful mirroring happens with desire itself. When he shows interest, through compliments, touches, or intense eye contact, reflect that desire back. Don't shy away or play hard to get too much. Instead, give him the signals that you want him to. Hold his gaze a moment longer. Match his touches with yours. Whisper back a compliment that shows you notice him. This balance between giving and receiving desire is electric. It makes him feel like you're equally invested in the connection, which makes him crave you even more. He's not chasing someone distant or unattainable. He's chasing someone who wants him as much as he wants her. Mirroring desire also builds emotional safety. When a man senses that you understand and share his feelings, it lowers his defenses and encourages vulnerability. He'll start opening up to you in ways he wouldn't with anyone else, deepening your bond. But don't overdo it. Mirroring has to feel natural and authentic, not forced or fake. If he senses you're just copying him, it breaks trust. So be genuine in your responses and match his energy in a way that feels effortless. When done right, mirroring desire becomes a magnetic force. It's the silent language of attraction that makes him feel seen, wanted, and emotionally connected, and keeps him coming back for more. So next time you're with him, pay attention. Reflect his energy, match his desire, and watch how your connection ignites into something deeper and more irresistible than ever. One of the most powerful forces that drives a man to truly commit and even obsess is the fear of loss. When a man feels like he might lose you, suddenly everything you do becomes more valuable, more urgent, and more desirable. This is the secret weapon in dark psychology that can transform casual interest into deep, almost desperate attachment. But triggering fear of loss isn't about playing cruel games or being manipulative. It's about creating real emotional tension, making him aware that you're not just an option, but a prize worth fighting for. Here's the psychology behind it. Humans naturally protect what they value. When something feels permanent and easy to have, the brain relaxes. But when something feels scarce, uncertain, or slipping away, it triggers a primal instinct to hold on tighter. This survival mechanism is hardwired and powerful. In relationships, this means if a man senses you're easily replaceable, always available, or taken for granted, he won't feel urgency. But if he perceives even the slightest risk that you might walk away, that you might lose interest, or that someone else might take your place, his desire and attention shift into overdrive. So how do you trigger this fear of loss the right way? Start by setting boundaries and maintaining your independence. Don't be a woman who drops everything for him. Have your own life, goals, and social circle. When you're emotionally and physically unavailable at times, it reminds him you're a limited resource, not an endless supply. Also, keep your emotional responses measured. If you respond with indifference to his jealousy or possessiveness, it shows you're not desperate to keep him at all costs. That confidence makes him question what he might lose. Another subtle but powerful tactic is to occasionally hint at your value to others without boasting. Let him know you have options, whether through mentioning plans with friends or showing your self-worth through your attitude. This isn't about making him jealous, it's about reinforcing that you're not waiting around. You're a prize that others want. Timing is key. After moments of intimacy or connection, give him a little space. This absence lets him reflect on what you mean to him and triggers the thought, what if she's gone tomorrow? You can also use strategic silence or reduced availability to create uncertainty. When he doesn't know if you'll be there, his brain fills the gap with anxious anticipation and fear of losing you. But be careful, triggering fear of loss should never cross into cruelty or manipulation. It's about respect and self-worth, not games that hurt feelings or cause confusion. The goal is to create emotional urgency that draws him closer, not pushes him away. When done right, triggering fear of loss makes you unforgettable. It activates his protective instincts and makes him want to commit, protect, and cherish you. Remember, a man who fears losing you isn't controlling you. He's valuing you. And that's the kind of attention every woman deserves. Before you dive into using these dark psychology tricks to make any man fall in love with you, there's one crucial thing you need to understand. With great power comes great responsibility. These techniques are powerful. They can deeply influence emotions, desires, and behaviors. But if used without care, they can hurt both you and the man you're targeting. Dark psychology isn't about manipulation for selfish gain or control that damages trust. It's about understanding human nature, emotional triggers, and communication on a deeper level. Then using that knowledge to create meaningful, passionate connections. If you use these tricks ethically, you build attraction while honoring both your boundaries and his. Here's why ethics matter. When you use psychological tactics to create emotional dependency or trigger fear without respect, you risk causing emotional harm. That harm could destroy trust, lead to resentment, and ultimately sabotage the very relationship you want to build. No connection built on deceit or coercion lasts. Instead, approach these techniques with honesty and integrity. Use them as tools to enhance natural attraction, to help you express your worth clearly, and to foster deeper understanding between you and the man you desire. They should never replace authentic communication or kindness. Remember, every relationship is a two-way street. Your goal should be mutual fulfillment, not control. These tricks work best when combined with genuine care, respect, and emotional availability. They're about guiding attraction, not forcing it. Also, be mindful of your own emotional health. Playing psychological games can backfire if you lose sight of who you are or start doubting your own worth. Stay grounded in your values and always prioritize your well-being. If you ever feel uneasy using these tactics, take a step back. Ask yourself, am I acting from love or fear? Am I being true to myself? Am I respecting his feelings as well as mine? These questions keep you aligned with ethical use. The most magnetic women are those who are confident, authentic, and respectful. Dark psychology can amplify your power, but only if you use it responsibly. Use it to build attraction that's exciting, passionate, and sustainable, not toxic or controlling. In short, these tricks are a double-edged sword. They can bring incredible closeness or cause lasting damage depending on your intentions and actions. Be smart, be kind. Use this knowledge to uplift both yourself and the men you attract. Master the art of influence with a heart. That's how you create real love that lasts.